It's been a while since TCU football fans can experience some TCU football, but the team returns home this weekend to play West Virginia. With Carlos Mendez, I'm Travis Brown. And Carlos, Coach Patterson seemed pretty downright jovial. I think the bye week and the week off not only did wonders for his players to recover, but he kind of was in much better spirits, seemed a little bit more relaxed. Here's a few clips of some of the jokes he cracked in the press conference on Tuesday.
Do you look at the polls and see how it's kind of shifting up with
No, I'm a voter, but I don't look at, I mean, obviously you can't not. It's, you wake up in the morning, it's pasted on your head. You know, did you know, I walk down, go to the store and get Dr. Pepper. It's, hey, do you know you felt the fifth? No, I didn't. You know, I don't have much of a choice. You just kind of, aren't you mad about that? No. Right now I'm trying to stop the zone play and the Cheetos and the Blaze route against West Virginia. Right, you're talking to the wrong person here.
Did they also show you that picture of Trevon?
What's that?
The wheelchair.
Oh, with the O? Oh yeah, I mean, that'll go on for a year. That'll be a Christmas card. Wish you Merry Christmas.
All joking aside, though, the TCU did get to heal up and is probably at its most healthy that it has been in a while, but that can't be said necessarily for a lot of the conference surrounding TCU. The injury situation is just really interesting in this conference.
Yeah, it's bad because, Oklahoma lost probably their best cornerback, Zach Sanchez, who's a local kid, by the way, last week, and we know about Seth Russell going down. And injuries change the nature of this conference a lot, and they certainly change the nature of this TCU football team from the start of the season. This is not the defense that, Patterson was expecting to have out on the field this point in the year. And he talked about that too today. If you'd have told him that, Traven Howard and Montrell Wilson and Julius Lewis and some of these other guys were going to be some of his main defensive players this year, he said, I would have laughed and you would have laughed. And to be 7-0 with that group. So, the way they've reacted to that, the way they've adapted to that, those kind of changes, those kind of injuries on defense is as much of a story about this team as anything right now.
Mm-hmm. As they look ahead past this now, things are a little bit more in focus on this tough stretch that the Horned Frogs have to finish out the season, and it starts with this West Virginia team. I think this seems like a reinvigorated group as they head into what really will be the meat of the season in these last games.
Yeah, and I think you can probably say the same thing about West Virginia. They've had the same break. They just came off a grueling 3-game stretch. They played Oklahoma State, OU, and Baylor. They lost all 3, but after those 3 games, they can use a break too. And this is a team for West Virginia that's playing TCU that they know from the last 3 years that they can match up with. So I anticipate a very tough, very close, very physical game on Thursday night. It's going to help both teams to have rested for a few days, and both teams are no doubt looking ahead to that second half of the schedule right now.
Mm-hmm. So looking into this West Virginia game, what are your keys for the game for TCU?
Well, like always, it's protect Trevon Boykin. You've got to keep him on his feet. You've got to give him time to throw. If you have those two things, this offense will score points, because in the air raid and some of the modern offenses in college football, you just can't cover guys as long as you need to if the quarterback has time to throw the ball. And as skilled as TCU is at throwing and catching the ball, they're going to move it and they're going to score points. So if you take care of your quarterback and take care of the ball, you should be fine on offense. Defensively, you've got to hold up on the edges in pass coverage. That's been a problem for TCU this year, and this is an area where they're just going to continue to be tested until they prove they can stop it. And even then, they will probably be tested the rest of the way just because of the nature of the teams that they're going to play from here on out.
TCU's defense with the 4-2-5 is a little quirky. It's something that some offenses might have to game plan around. But with the 3-3 kind of defense that West Virginia runs, the 5 defensive backs is something that the West Virginia offense, when they go good on good, is used to seeing. So that might play a little bit to an advantage of West Virginia in the passing game, which is something that, like you said, has been kind of a weak point for TCU.